Welcome to this YouTube tutorial where we're building a currency converter. So we'll be converting from NGN to USD. So I'm going to type in a value, and once I type it in, I'm going to exchange. So I can convert from USD to Naira and Naira to USD. So I would like you to stick around in this video. Okay, the first thing you need to do is to open a blank folder in your Visual Studio Code. Then open up the Visual Studio Code terminal. So click on New Terminal, and it will open a blank terminal for us. So first step is to create our virtual environment. So run python-m-venv.venv. So this will create our virtual environment. Then once that has been created, we activate it with source.venv/bin/activate. Now if you are using Windows, you just use scripts without calling the source command. This would work fine if you're on Windows. So but for those of us that are using Mac and Linux, you run this command and our virtual environment has been activated. Now we can install our packages. So I'm going to install PySimpleGUI. So PySimpleGUI is going to be installed from the internet, which has already been installed. So then I'm going to, now that we've done that, so just create a main.py file in your Visual Studio Code. So I've created my main.py file. So in our main.py file, before we proceed, let's select our Python environment. So just click on the recommended one, and now we are now using the same environment as the one that we have created, the virtual env. So I'm going to import PySimpleGUI. So if we're not using the same environment, I won't be getting those IntelliSense. So I'm going to import PySimpleGUI as SG. Then the next thing, I'll set up a font. I'll use Arial and give it a font size of 18. Then what we need, I'll set up the theme. So we're going to be using the Reddit theme. Then after I do that, I'll set my list of currency. So my currency list, I'll set it to NGN for Nigerian Naira and USD for United States dollars. So then once I've done that, I'll create a variable called exchange. This variable is what is going to be handling the exchange process in our code. So so I'm going to say NGN. So I'm opening a dictionary with the key of NGN, and inside of that dictionary, the value of it is going to be a dictionary, and I'll say USD. So now this is the rate for 1 Naira to USD, which is 1 divided by 750. So 1 Naira to USD is going to be 1 divided by 750. Then I'm going to do NGN for cross compatibility. Then the next one, I'll just copy this here. But what I want to do is I'm going to change this to USD, and this will be NGN, and this will be USD. and I'll get rid of I'll just leave it at 750. So that's that for our exchange. Now let's do the layout of our currency converter. So the first layout would, so in PySimpleGUI, when you want to create layers, you are basically going to be using the list of lists. So it makes it easier for us to create our layout. So the first thing is going to be sg.text. So this is going to be a label, and I'm going to say enter amount. So I'll put a comma. Then under it is going to be the input, sg.input. So, and I'll give it a key of dash amount. So that's the convention for keys in PySimpleGUI. So with the key, I'll be able to get the inputted data. So once I've done that, the next is the sg.text. So this is going to be from. So this is the label for the currency we're converting from, and I'm going to say expand x to true. So it's going to fill the available space on the horizontal axis. So sg.text again. So this is going to be 2, and same thing, expand expand x going to be equal to true. Then once you've done that, then I'm going to we're going to create a combo box for the currencies. So for the from, I'm going to have sg.combo, and I'm going to pass in values. So the list that we created in the beginning, so the currency list, I'm going to pass in the currency list. I'm going to give it a default value of ngn. Then I'll give it a key of from, then expand x to true. So once I've done that, I'll do almost the same thing for the 2. So almost the same thing, but not completely the same thing. I'll change the default value to USD, and I'll change the key to 2. So that's that for the currency drop down. So the next step is now for the output. So I'm going to give it a variable of exchange. So that's going to be the label for that text. So on the next line, I'm going to say sg.input. So this is where the value of the exchange will be put. This is where we'll output the result of our exchange. So I'm going to give it a key of -output -. So once I give it that key, then underneath it, I'll say sg.text. So I'm going to just type in the exchange rate directly. So I'm going to do $1 equal to, so I'm going to get the symbol for naira. So sorry, my mouse is misbehaving a little bit. So anyways, I won't dwell too much on that. I don't know why that's not coming up. So okay, once we've done that, then the last thing is the button. I'm going to do sg. So the button that we are going to press to convert. So I'm going to press convert. Then I'm going to say key equal to -convert -. So the button, I'm going to say expand x equals to true, and I'm going to give it a pad. That there's going to be some spacing on the top and bottom of the button. So that's that for the layout. So the next thing is to create our window or initialize our window. So I'm going to say sg.window. So I'm going to give it a title of currency converter. Then I'm going to pass in the layout that we just created and the font that we created earlier on. So once we've done that, the next step is to create our while loop. So I'm going to say while true. So I'm going to get the event and the values. So we'll do window dot read. So we'll read the event and the values. Then I'll say if event equal to sg dot win closed. That means if the window cancel or close button was clicked, I'm going to break out of the loop. Then I'll come out of the loop and do window dot close. So right now, if you've gotten to this point, we have something that is, we have the UI working perfectly fine, and I can show us by running python main.py. So I'm going to move to my desktop and bring it out. So this is what we just did now, but it's not working. It's not working. It's just the combo box, everything is there, but it's not working yet. So we are going to add the functionality to it. So we're going to add the functionality to it, and to do that, we're going to look out for elif event equal to. So if event equals to convert, that's if the button was clicked. Remember the key that we created for that button. So I'm going to say from equal to. So we're going to get the values of the from, then to, we get the value of the to that have been selected. So hyphen to. So once you've done that, the next step is to get the rates. So that constant that we created exchange, all we just have to do is to pass in the from and the to. So the dictionary, so it will just get the rate, the correct rate that we are going to be using in for our exchange. So I'm going to say amount equal to, I'll say values. So we're going to get the amount that we want to exchange using the amount, using the key, that the amount key that we created. So if amount, that means if the person actually types in an amount. So the first thing I'm going to do is to first of all convert it from a string to a float so that we can perform arithmetic operations on it. Then I'll say result equals to, so I'm going to do rounds, or yes, I'm going to do rounds because I want to round it to 2 decimal places. Now say amount times rate. So we're leaving into 2 decimal places. So now that we have the result of the exchange, I'm just going to do window. So we're going to use the key for the output. So we're going to use key for the output to update. So we're going to update. We're going to use f string to kind of So I'm going to do results and pass in a comma. So this will make it look more like a currency than just numbers. So once I've done that, I believe everything has been done. So if I run it again and I go back to my desktop and I drag this here, so now if I type in 5,000 and you see that it's working fine. But when I change to USD and NGN, and you see that our exchange, the currency converter, is working fine. So I'm going to leave the code on GitHub so that you can download it and use it and just check it out. So if this video was helpful for you, please like, subscribe. Thank you very much if you stayed up to this ending.